Hi, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. Welcome to Tech Talk with Ray Blanco. With me is the editor and lead analyst of Tech Profits Daily and Technology Profits Confidential, Ray Blanco. How are you doing today, Ray?
Doing great, Aaron. Great to be here.
Big disruptive news in the EV space this week, potentially. There's leaks that Apple could be seriously looking at the development of an iCar, an Apple car for the first time. We've speculated about this for a long, long time, but there's news from Hyundai and some other players that these plans could be becoming more and more real, and the ripple effects throughout the industry, battery technology, all these topics that you touch on so frequently. These ripple effects could be, I mean, frankly, they could be earth-shattering. So what are you hearing? What's the story right now, and what do you think is what's true and what's kind of bunk that we shouldn't be believing in right now?
All right, so you mentioned we've been talking about this for a long time, right? Apple's had that Project Titan out there for years, and Project Titan's been their vehicle project where they're developing automotive technology. So we've known that Apple's been interested in the automotive sector, putting a product out there for a long time. Question is what? It's a huge market, one of the biggest in the world. And if you're a company like Apple, as big as they are, you got to be looking at these big markets if you want to keep growing. So the news lately has been that Apple, apparently Hyundai spilled some beans. They've been talking with, the Korean automaker. They've been talking with Apple, and they have some plants here in the U.S. And apparently those plants might be involved in some sort of situation with Apple. So it appears that Apple's putting out its feelers in the automotive industry, talking to some automakers, talking to some younger startup electric vehicle companies like Canoo, which has an electric platform. They have, what's known as a skateboard. They're called skateboards because the basic electric vehicle platform, you got the battery, you've got the drivetrain, everything just, like a skateboard almost, right? And then you can customize on top of that, which is what Canoo has. And we know that Canoo and Hyundai have been talking a little bit too. So that adds a little bit of intrigue to these rumors. It's the Apple model, right? I mean, they're a design company. They design products that people really, really like. They're excellent designs. People pay top dollar for them. Apple gets great margins, but other people make Apple's products, right? So, Apple just came out with the M1 chip, this amazing chip for the MacBooks, and it's extremely high performance. Apple doesn't actually make the M1 chip. It designed the M1 chip. The M1 chip is made by, Taiwan Semiconductor. Other components might be made by Samsung, which makes a lot of chips over there in South Korea. So, it's kind of a natural extension of Apple's business model to work with an automaker in an industry which is, highly vertically integrated, right? I mean, look at Ford, from design through construction, they do most of the work themselves. I mean, they got suppliers of components, right? But
Sure.
Final assembly, they do it. Tesla is a very similar situation. So, Apple's bringing maybe that kind of model into the automotive industry.
You mentioned Ford a moment ago, and we'd be remiss if we didn't bring up Tesla. Ford has fantastic EV plans coming up that you've talked about. GM is getting their act together. BMW, Volvo. So Apple working with Hyundai, this could be Hyundai's big entry. And my question is Apple a little bit too late to the game? Like, I know they have a history of, because they're so secretive, they don't want to be first necessarily, they want to be best. So is this just another example of Apple not worrying about being, early to the game, but when they come out, let's say they do something with Hyundai, they're going to be the best? Is that kind of the template that you're looking at here?
Yeah, I mean, and the room for growth is still enormous. Only a small percentage of vehicles are electric, right? And have advanced self-driving features. They say probably in 10 to 20 years, half the cars on the road will be electric. So we're still early in the game. Tesla was a trailblazer, of course, showed it was possible. And that's why the market has rewarded them with the valuation that they have. But you're going to see the rest of the industry come along. What Apple has is, brilliant design people and just an incredible brand. I mean, it's one of the greatest brands in the world. Apple people are fiercely loyal customers a lot of times. And I think that, the person that owns an iPhone, a MacBook, an Apple Watch, an Apple TV is going to be probably, next time they buy an electric vehicle, they're probably going to be kind of interested if Apple has a vehicle out there at taking a good, strong look at that. So, that brand is well established, and, they
Yep.
may not be first to market, but they could still do really, really well.
Yeah, Ray, this is definitely a story to watch for early 2021. We think EVs are in an exciting space now. Let Apple jump in headlong and watch what happens. This is going to be a really cool story to follow. For everyone watching, if you're not yet a member, you can click the link that you see here by the video player and sign up to receive Ray's Tech Profits Daily. That's 5 days a week. Ray and his analyst team breaking the biggest stories in tech. Ray, thanks so much for taking a few minutes to update everybody, and we'll talk to you soon.
Talk to you soon.